Welcome, my friends. We are back again. I'm about to make bad decisions, but what else is new? So my husband and I are going to be moving this summer, but I'm still going to try to do a read-along, because I'm insane. But I know you have all been waiting patiently and I've been hinting at it coming up soon, so now is the time where we pick out our books. If you're new here, read-alongs on this channel are a little bit different to what other people might call read-alongs. We pick a book, I read the book, it's usually a very flawed book, and we are reading it for A, humor and entertainment purposes, and B, to maybe learn from what other people are doing wrong so we authors can not make those same mistakes. It's like MST3K for books, but we also try to be a little bit educational.
And the actors begin abandoning the movie one by one.
I had a lot of great options this time, but as usual I tried to narrow it down to 4 books, and then you all will get to vote on which one you want to be the next read-along book. So, to cast your votes, just tell me which book you are voting for down in the comments, or if you are a patron, tell me over on Patreon where your vote will count for 2. Yes, patron votes have swayed the vote before, so if you want your vote to count for 2, hop on over to my Patreon at any level. You can get in on this crazy scheme. Like I said, a lot of great options, had to narrow it down. I don't know why I arbitrarily choose 4, but 4 is the number of books I usually have people vote from. Number 1 on the list is The Cabin, which is written by the same person who wrote The Cellar, Wattpad sensation, The Cellar, and actually, personally, one of my favorite read-alongs here on the channel. It wasn't as popular as I would have liked though, so go give it a watch. Remember, you don't have to know anything about these books to enjoy these read-alongs, so if you've never heard of it before, that's okay, neither have we. But let's use my handy-dandy tablet to read a synopsis of The Cabin. There may only be one killer, but no one is innocent. When Mackenzie treks to a secluded cabin in the woods with 6 friends, she expects a fun weekend of partying, drinking, and hookups. But when they wake to find one of their own dead and covered in blood, it's clear a killer is among them. As the police try to unravel the case, Mackenzie launches her own investigation. Before long, secrets start to emerge, revealing a sinister web of sins among the original 7 friends. The killer is still free. Every one of them is a suspect. And Mackenzie starts to realize that no one is innocent. So that's The Cabin. It has an average rating of 3.61. Next on our list is one that I've actually been kind of keeping an eye on for a little while, and that book is called Redeeming Love. It's a Christian romance, and normally I keep my toes out of the area of Christian fiction, but this one is kind of particularly bad. And also, it is going to have, or already has, a movie coming out. So I've already watched some other creators talking about this book, and it seemed like a really fun possibility for us. This one is well loved, especially amongst the Christian audiences, and it has a rating of 4.5, so it's doing really well. Obviously, we will not be making fun of the fact that it's Christian, but the fact that I know that the plot is terrible. California Gold Country, 1850, a time when men sold their souls for a bag of gold and women sold their bodies for a place to sleep. Yeah, this book deals with a lot of, very sexist themes, so we can have fun with that. Angel expects nothing from men but betrayal. Sold into prostitution as a child, she survives by keeping her hatred alive. And what she hates most are the men who use her, leaving her empty and dead inside. When she meets Michael Hosea, a man who seeks his father's heart in everything, father capitalized meaning God. Michael Hosea obeys God's call to marry Angel and to love her unconditionally. Slowly, day by day, he defies Angel's every bitter expectation until, despite her resistance, her frozen heart begins to thaw. So, you know, Stockholm Syndrome. But with her unexpected softening come overwhelming feelings of unworthiness and fear. So Angel runs back to the darkness, away from her husband's pursuing love, terrified of the truth she can no longer deny. Her final healing must come from the one, again capitalized, who loves her even more than Michael Hosea does. The one who will never let her go. That sounds ominous. So yeah, Stockholm Syndrome Christian book. That's a possibility. The next one on the list is The Night and Its Moon, which I picked because it has an author who's behaved badly, not handling criticism well, as I recall. I will look deeper into it as we go, but also it's a pretty flawed book from my understanding. I have heard some other people talking about it. So let's read the synopsis. Oh, it has a rating of 3.12. Farley or Farley is just an orphanage. At least that's what the church would have people believe, but beautiful orphans Knox and Fey-touched Aramis know better. They are commodities for sale, available for purchase to the highest bidder. So when the madam of a notorious brothel, we're getting a real sex work theme here, unintentionally, in a far-off city offers a king's ransom to purchase Aramis. Amaris, Aramis, I'm probably going to pronounce that wrong the whole time. Knox ends up taking her place. Well, Amaris is drawn away to the mountains, home of mysterious assassins. Even as they take up new lives and identities, Knox and Amaris, again I'm guessing here, never forget one thing. They will stop at nothing to reunite. But the threat of war looms overhead, and the two are inevitably swept into a conflict between human and fey, magic and mundane, with strange new alliances, untested powers, and a bond that neither time nor distance could possibly break. The fate of the realms lies in the hands of two orphans, and the love they hold for one another. Now, I believe this book is queer, which is exciting, but I also believe that it is badly written, so... The final one on my list is one that I actually just picked up. I saw it randomly for free somewhere, so I own the book, and that's why it's on this list. I wouldn't even have to buy it. That book is The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer. Yes, she wrote something else besides Twilight. She tried. And The Host. She also wrote The Host. But I own a copy of The Chemist. It's enormous. Kind of hoping we don't pick this one, but hey, if we do, I'll read it. I have no plans to read Twilight as a read-along. Twilight has been done to death. Everybody's covered every tiny nuance of that book, but we could check out The Chemist. It has an overall rating of 3.74. In this gripping page-turner, an ex-agent on the run from her former employers must take one more case to clear her name and save her life. She used to work for the U.S. government, but very few people knew that. An expert in her field, she was one of the darkest secrets of an agency, so clandestine it doesn't even have a name. Convenient, you don't have to come up with a name then. And when they decided she was a liability, they came for her without warning. Now she rarely stays in the same place or uses the same name for long. They've killed the only other person she trusted, but something she knows still poses a threat. They want her dead, and soon. When her former handler offers her a way out, she realizes it's her only chance to erase the giant target on her back, but it means taking one last job from her ex-employers. To her horror, the information she acquires will only make her situation more dangerous. Resolving to meet the threat head-on, she prepares for the longest fight of her life, but finds herself falling for a man who can only complicate her likelihood for survival. As she sees her choices being rapidly whittled out, she must apply her unique talents in ways she never dreamed of. This is the vaguest blurb ever. It uses a lot of words to say very little. So I suspect perhaps the book might be similar. So those are your options. Please comment below to vote. You have until this date, appearing now on the screen, to vote for your choice. And then we will find out what we are reading next. Woo! Hype! Hype. That's all I have to talk about right now. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to hop over to my Patreon if you want your vote to count for too. And don't forget, if you want to check out what this whole read-along thing is all about, I have several already in a playlist nicely arranged for you. You know what to do. Otherwise, all the links to everything are in the doobly-doo for ease of your clicking, and I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye!